It's no secret that Zen is a very good hero in Classic Constructed, but how does that translate to Blitz? Certainly, a pop-off turn in a 20 health format can do irreparable damage, but can Zen survive long enough or avoid the on-hits in order to make it happen? I think he can, so today we're going over my Blitz Zen deck build. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando, and go again, a fabulous cast. Today we are covering my Zen Blitz deck build headed into Skirmish Season 9. Blitz is an awesome format and integral to Flesh and Blood's long-term success. With Skirmish Season returning in late August, the competitive focus on Blitz has returned. Every Monday until the start of Skirmish Season 9, I'll be covering a different Blitz deck tag. Now, our Dice Commando channel members, of course, have early access to these videos as they are uploaded. The first wave is already available, with another wave pending after the July 3rd BNS announcement. And hey, if James White approves, you should too. So I'll see you here every Tuesday through August for more Blitz content. And that's right, today talking Zen. Now, obviously a very strong hero currently in Classic Constructed, can do some pretty crazy things with the right setup, but the ask is, can he do what he needs to do to be able to do what he wants to do in Blitz with the lower health format? Now, he sits down with a fair amount of armor in terms of the raw value, but it's kind of interesting because they're all consumable, right? Every single piece he has is Blade Break. So he has 7 total armor and Blade Break, but you need to be able to kind of use them when you want to, not just for armor, right? So that presents a very interesting challenge to Zen. Now, one card that I very much tried using a lot, I pulled a foil of it in the pre-release, and I was like, oh, well, it's a cool card. Let's try to use it. But it's Shifting Winds of the Mystic Beast. Now, I've not really been able to get this card to work, unfortunately. One of the problems I found in the Blitz format portion of this is that if you're creating tigers that don't have a buff, it becomes too cute, right? I think is the right word, right? Creating tigers with no way to functionally really use them very well, right? You want them to come in for one, at least, right? You have to present something. And that's kind of why I flew away from this card. So let's go ahead and bring up the deck itself. Okay, so what you see across the screen now is my deck. That's right. So we are running the Stride of Reprisal. Now, this is a really cool. Now, obviously, it's Mystic, right? It's him only. It's the one that everyone's running with him. No secret there. But this card is very cool in that it goes to hand versus what we see for like Pouncing Paws or something like that, right? And where I like to use this, I mean, just from the games I've been running, I find this really useful when I have my Art of War in hand, right? Because it goes to hand and then you banish the kitty and then you draw. And that way you don't need to necessarily worry about, do I have a kitty that now I can't do anything with, right? So you do this, you defend. When you have the Art of War, you get the kitty, you get the banish card you need. It's very, very, very nice. Okay, Tiger Stripe Shuko is incredibly important right now. Enigma is very popular. I think we're going to be seeing quite a bit of her as Blitz develops. I'm not sure exactly where I think she's, maybe tier 1.5, probably like a solid tier 2 hero, at least for now. And I'm talking real Enigma. The New Moon Enigma is actually very interesting. But we'll talk about her later. But the fact that Tiger Stripe Shuko could come in for the unblockable threat, or sorry, I should say the unpreventable threat, which is very relevant for popping through boards. Okay, we're obviously on the Kakara. Traverse the Universe is absolutely crazy as long as you can use it when you need it, or want it, I should say. And then 12 Petal Kassai, man, making money is, you make money with that thing. The card is crazy. Okay, so let's move into the deck. Before we go into the cards, there's a couple of interesting things, a couple of things I want to point out, drag your eye to. So I thought the right number of chi cards, going into this, I thought the right number of chi cards was going to be 4. I've actually landed on 6, and probably as I've gotten better with figuring out the right time and how to use Zen and his ability and be able to tutor out and make the kitty, you get it. 6 is where I've landed. Sometimes it feels like too much, so I could very solidly see an argument of 5. 4 was very clearly not enough, right? So the ones I've landed on, I ended on Drop in the Ocean, so -1, it effectively blocks 1. You have Homage to Ancestors, which I think everybody's running that one to just gain a health. We have Path Well Traveled, which is target attack gets go again. I kind of was warbling back and forth on this one, but being able to, you know, I am running, you see, like Tooth and Claw, and it's worked. It has worked before, right? Being able to give whatever you need. If you don't have the combo right, it works. Okay, Preserve Tradition is action card from your graveyard on bottom of your deck, and then obviously green that tips the scale, and Sacred Art Domain. Okay, so 40 cards in the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now another card I really want to talk about is Tiger Form Incantation. This card has really performed very well. So the next Crouching Tiger you get this turn is +1. Costs 1, that's not super great value, but it makes the Tiger that you need. Okay, but on top of that, I've played a blue card this turn. So sure, while what we want to always do with our Transcend cards is like do one and then hold priority wherever you get the thing, right? And then you make it and money rains from there, blue money rains from the heavens, right? But this one, and also Predatory Streak, which is, it's funky, you know, you think about it historically, like it's a bad card, right? Do that for one Tiger that's not buffed. But again, it's a blue that we've been able to play, and sometimes it can do the thing that we need it to do. So both of those cards have actually been really good for me, surprisingly. Like Predatory Streak Blue, I didn't think it would be, but I was like, you know what, let's give it a shot. It's worked pretty well. And all that's to rise up to, I think, my favorite card in this deck, which is Chase the Tail. Okay, so when this attacks, if a Crouching Tiger was the last attack, it gets Go Again, and the next you play gets +3. So this is functionally a 1 for 7 across 2 attacks with a huge caveat that you have to have 2 Tigers, right, in order to make it work. This doesn't create one like many of the other cards do. You have to have 2 Tigers, one before, and then one at some point after. All right, so let's go ahead through the deck, talk about some cards. So Ancestral Empowerment. This card, I'm still playing this card. I love this card because it backfills itself and it helps me more aggressively cycle, which a lot of times I think I really need. I'm not using this for any sort of on hit or anything like that in the, you know, a lot of times this is great with like Mask of Momentum, something like that, or to push your combo through so you can tutor for Katsu. We don't really need any of that here. This really just helps me push and cycle, and it's effectively a +1 for free. Okay, so I'm running that. Aspect to Tiger Body, the red version. I was originally thinking about running the blue version, but this card works pretty well in red, right? Because again, we talked about Chase the Tail, the need to get a Tiger after. So Aspect of Body really can help sometimes do that when you already have a red card out. I am playing red and blue, Breed Anger. So remember, when this attacks, if a Tiger was the last this chain, this gets Go Again and create a Tiger in your banish zone, right? A lot of times this one also gets a little tricky to use, but at least this one backfills itself so that it can combo with something else later. To that point, we have Harmony of the Hunt. When this attacks, if you pitch to blue, create a Crouching Tiger. This card is freaking phenomenal. I was originally on blue of this one, but I did find that Tiger Form Incantation was actually better. That's actually where that slot came from. But if you personally want to switch that up, I think very functionally serves kind of the same purpose. Okay, I am playing Mauling Key. Forces blocks, right? That's one of the things you want to make sure that you do, so they can't come, like if your combo lines don't quite work out and you can't like quite maximize it, being able to just kitty, you know, do whatever you need to do, kitty into mauling. They'll force blocks. They don't want to take it. Okay, we're red blue pouncing, and we are red key or unleashed. And then of course Tiger Swipe. They will not ever let Tiger Swipe hit, but so be it. So be it. Still has Go Again. So Tooth and Claw, I've really gone back and forth on this one, but the fact that it's a 0/4, even a lot of times in Blitz, if you have the 0/4 as a chain ender, it's okay, right? And sometimes Tooth and Claw just by itself, like if you have some like weird hand and you want to like, you have like maybe 2 in hand, you want to Arsenal 1 and just throw 0/4, 0/4 works, right? I'm not saying it's a great turn with Zen, but it'll do what you need it to do. Okay. We then have Roar of the Tiger ×2 and Art of War. These are both, I mean, Art of War, we all know what those do. Roar of the Tiger gives +1. Ideally, what you want to do is a bunch of pop-offs here. But again, this card, in my head, by the way, until I started really running this deck, I used to think this card costs 1 and it only costs 0. This card is very good. I don't think that's a groundbreaking statement, but I used to think it was 1 and was okay to play. Card does things. Okay. We already went through the Chi cards. Obviously, we're playing B-Strike. B-Strike is really good when you're playing a whole bunch of blues. To that end, actually, we have 16 total blues in the deck, right? Which, as I mentioned, I thought the right number was going to be like 14. I ended up on this. It's kind of where I ended up landing. So I think that's right. Okay, so that does round out the deck. Now let's move into the sideboard. What I have elected to do, I'm not running Oasis, right? I am running AB3. Okay, we have lots of blues, so not running Oasis. We need the rooms. We're running Battlefront Bastion, Pauper, and then does the thing. And then that's right, Flick Flack. We have a boatload of combo in this deck. So if we're in some weird situation where either we need just the D-React itself, but I believe this to be the right D-React to run when we have a whole bunch of combo, in case we have somebody or run up against somebody who also is doing Chase the Tail or something like that. All right. So anyway, that is my take on Zen in Blitz. This deck's really fun to play, right? It's if you haven't had a chance to play Zen, even if you're not a Ninja fan, just try it. You know, proxy the cards, do the Talishar thing, whatever you need to do. It's really fun, and I think it's helped. Whenever I go play Ninja, I'm always reminded how fun it is to just sequence things and just kind of play against yourself in a way when you're playing the game to see if you can maximize your value, regardless of if you win the game or not. Trying to figure out those combo lines. A lot of times you can walk away feeling like a winner, even if you didn't win. So anyway, that's my take. Let me know what you think below. If nothing else, my friends, go Commando.